Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight featuring the Phoenix A320, today flying from Frankfurt to Düsseldorf, which is a quick roundabout 30-minute flight. So let's get right into it without any further ado and start setting up our Airbus A320. And this is the cockpit. Surprise, really? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get started. So with the preliminary cockpit preparation, we check the engine master levers are off, start selector normal, the thrust levers in idle, the weather radar is turned off, landing gear lever down, and the wipers are off. The aircraft is powered already since we've just taken over from another crew, so we don't need to do the battery check. The external power is also on already. In regards to the RMP, we'll just leave it on Honeycomb and on the guard frequency for the time being. Then we can do the APU fire test up here. And that's looking good. The APU itself is not needed just yet, as it really isn't all that warm. And then, since we have just taken the aircraft over, let's do a quick realignment of the IRSs 1, 2, and 3. Alright then, so cockpit lights are set. Now we can head over into the electronic flight bag, import our flight from SimBrief, and have a look at our flight plan itself. So the weather is very good. Frankfurt probably runway 07 active, Düsseldorf runway 05 active, and our alternate Münster is also looking good, and all of them have clear skies, which is going to make for a wonderful flight today. If we depart on time, we're going to arrive on time, and flight level 220 is the plan. Now in terms of our fuel, that makes the decision pretty easy. The company already gave us 10 minutes of extra over here, so I'm really not worried about anything else. So 4,400 kilos is everything we need today. Apart from that, we can do our preliminary takeoff calculations here. Frankfurt 7 center, synchronize the preliminary load sheet and the weather. Then let's have a look into the intersections where we can calculate Lima 1-4. And that's all looking very good. And our performance limited takeoff weight is 81.3, so we are perfectly fine with what we plan to do today. Last but not least, we ensure that we've got all our charts selected. And something that the sim unfortunately does is only to give you the non-ANAV SID chart here, so let's also go for the ANAV chart, which we can find a little bit further down. So looking for Maroon 5 Echo, and we're looking for the ANAV version of it. Should be somewhere over here. Here it is. Perfect. So let's pin that one as well. Alright, cool. And that's our basic setup of the electronic flight bag. Then let's accept our aircraft for service. And we can do that down here. Recall for 3 seconds. And that's looking excellent. So there is nothing in the logbook. It's a standard A320 with CFM engines. No automatic nav on the go-around, so we'll have to press the button ourselves. No OEBs on this aircraft, and with that, it's accepted for service. So then, oxygen quantity is looking good. Hydraulic quantity is full. Engine oil quantity is full. The flaps are up, agree with the lever, speed brakes are retracted, then can test our alternate brakes here, brakes off, press the pedals, and that's looking excellent. Alrighty, wonderful. So that's the preliminary cockpit preparation completed. Then let's get right into it. And we are going to start down here by setting up the ground services, and we do plan to take 4,400 kilos of fuel. So apply and load, and we can use GSX for both loading and refueling. 160 guests on board, which is pretty much full house. Alright, so let's get into the cockpit preparation. Fueling is still to commence, so I'm not going to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign just yet. That's everything looking good over here. Then QNH is 1013, and that's looking pretty much accurate. It's the 12th of April 25. That's looking good. So radio setup is good, and here everything's set, and set. So then let's go right into the FMS, starting with the ATSU. And up here we can do a flight initialization and request the latest data. While that's going on, let's also open our SimBrief dispatch app down here so that we can see our flight plan while working with it. Here we go. So let's do an ATIS request here. Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, departure ATIS from VATSIM sent. And then let's see what kind of messages we already have. So load sheet edition number 1, load sheet edition number 2, and that one is 0 fuel weight limited, 59.3, 2 pilots, 4 cabin crew on the uniform Oscar. Then we have 160 passengers, that looks good, and finally fuel in tanks 4,400. Accepting that, and now for the ATIS, Frankfurt information, Mike, runway 07 center. Then, the wind 08087, slightly variable, Kavok 20 degrees, QNH 1013. Alright, so far so good. So, A320-200, CFM56 engines, and a current nav database. Then let's go for the flight plan request and see what we are gonna get. And here we go, Frankfurt Düsseldorf, alternate in Münster. Lufthansa 074, cost index 20, flight level 220. What's the temperature up there? -24. So, departing 7 center on the Maroon 5 Echo departure. And arrival Düsseldorf 05 right with the Domox 05 transition. Looking perfect. So for the flight plan we have an engine out sit of 07 center on a 066 track for 25 miles. And we can hold over there 066 right hand turns, and the rest is looking good. And then coming back into Frankfurt, new destination, ILS approach runway 07 right. Looking perfect, and then fix info. We set up the same thing, so Frankfurt 07 center with a 066 radial, and then the PBD 01 point, which is the emergency waypoint. Alright, so far so good. Then let's go on to the init page. So fuel weight forecast 59.3. We don't know CG yet, so we'll enter 25. 4.4 is the block fuel, and then for our remaining figures, alternate fuel is 1, final reserve 1.1, 200 kilos taxi is looking good, and 0.3 reserves are good as well. And finally we have an average tailwind of 5 knots, and then we can already go over here, do the wind data request, and then on to the performance. So for this, let's take the performance data from here, send to MCDU, because I'm lazy. In the real world you couldn't do that. And here's that. Alright, cool. So that's pretty much our setup done. Let's go over here real quick into the pilot routes and store that. We'll just call it FRA-DUS 1 and store flight plan. So, Frankfurt Düsseldorf. Normally it should show our SID over here. Maroon, Yankee 152 APEX, Zulu 850, Ardemi, Zulu 854. Well, that is incorrect as well. Should be Domux. And then it should also tell us the arrival. So this is pretty bugged, unfortunately. But yeah, so be it. Alright, in any case, that pretty much finishes our pre-flight setup. So constraints, and we want all of those. Okay, so last but not least, let's go ahead and cross-check our SID. So straight at Delta Fox 139, left turn 146 above 2000. And we've got 139, 146 above 2000. And then via Odaga, Tesga, Alidi, Maroon. And that's exactly what we have. Perfect. So it looks like we'll have about 6 minutes in cruise. That's fine. And that's pretty much our setup completed. So, refueling is complete, signs are coming on, and the pumps are also coming on. And then let's already go ahead and request our IFR clearance. So we have ATIS information Mike. So ATIS Mike, Alpha 34, Station Frankfurt. Lufthansa 074, Alpha 34, Mike, Gude, A320, Station Frankfurt. That's pretty much all looking correct. Okay, sent. Okay, request received, stand by. Wonderful, so while we are waiting for our clearance, we can go ahead with our departure briefing, please. So, that's for you. Alright, thanks. Frankfurt 07 Center, Maroon 5 Echo departure, climbing 5,000 feet, and the MSA is 4,300. Extra fuel is going to be not a lot, let's see. 17 minutes, 600 kilos. Alright, and we have no hotspots for the taxi loading. Stop margin will be absolutely plenty. Engine out, sit straight at 25 miles. No thanks. So, stop margin in case of rejected, couple meters, engine out, sit straight at 25 miles to the PVD 01 point. On guard. Okay, so then immediate return is going to be to Frankfurt's ILS 07 right, since the ILS 7 Center is currently inoperative. I have nothing special or non-standard here, and no threats for the departure. Well, and that's our briefing completed. And it looks like PDC isn't online, so let's see, 120805 for our clearance.
Connect with Hotel, airborne passing 1000. Connect with Hotel, danke. Identified climb by asset to flight level 130. Asset level 130, connect with Hotel.
Radar, moin moin, Lufthansa 074, information Mike, request clearance to Düsseldorf.
Hallo 074, you okay to Düsseldorf, Maroon 5 Echo departure, flight planned route, climb by asset to 5,000 feet, squawk 1000.
Lufthansa 5 Echo, cleared Düsseldorf, Maroon 5 Echo, flight planned route, climb 5,000 via SIT, squawk 1000.
Correct. Birds 25,
okay, 5,000 is set, Maroon 5 Echo is confirmed, and then the squawk is going to be 1,000.
Left 100.
That was easy. Alright, let's turn on the APU to get some air conditioning going. And then it's just a question of waiting for our boarding to complete. So let's have a look at how far they are. Last passenger's boarding now. Wonderful. That's what I call pretty good timing.
Alright, 240 and yeah,
so,
speed for Lufthansa cargo.
Don't need these here, but what we do need is the parking chart.
040, correction. 040, Lufthansa cargo to
So, parking stands east, that's the one, and parking stands west as well.
Ready for departure from 678 Foxtrot.
Alright, so APU is coming, boarding should be completed any moment now. So, let's use the time to say hello to our passengers. Liebe Fluggäste, einen schönen guten Morgen aus dem Cockpit, hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel, im Namen der Lufthansa darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unseres A320 auf unserem Flug nach Düsseldorf willkommen heißen. Flugzeit heute ist ca. 30 Minuten, wir erwarten einen ruhigen Flug in einer Höhe von etwa 22 Fuß. Wir bedanken uns herzlich, dass Sie unsere Gäste sind, lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen Sie den Flug mit uns. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of Lufthansa, welcome aboard our Airbus A320 on our flight to Düsseldorf. Today's flight time is forecast at approximately 30 minutes at an altitude of 22,000 feet. We'd like to thank you for being our guests. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything to make it more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Alright, so the passengers are briefed, then
flight level 360.
we already have the APU available.
Would go for 07 left today, 9 Papa Zulu.
Then let's tell them to start preparing. And let's see about the load.
Direct Delta Fox 470 and
that script is so
expect
stupid.
07 left.
Why do I have to keep the beacon on?
250.
It's totally unrealistic to do this. So, still waiting for the load sheet it seems.
Turning right, heading 250.
Should come any moment though. In the meantime, we'll get our ground crew to get ready, and then, let's see, we are full.
Direct Dosa and Unicom.
So where's the load sheet?
Ciao.
I guess we'll just go for resend.
When ready, down to flight level 100, 9 Papa Zulu.
And here it is. So, preliminary. No, we need the final load sheet, please. What are they doing?
Lufthansa 914, you're clear to Heathrow via the Oboka 1 Echo departure. Flight planned route.
Doors are closed, and they are loading. Yeah. No further comment on that, huh? Just no further comment.
1 Echo departure, initial climb.
Alright, cool. So, the initial one is accepted, but we should get the final one now. Probably just waiting for them to get rid of the cargo loader down there. That's kind of my guess. That Condor is French. Okay, and in the meantime for us, cockpit preparation checklist please. Gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity 4,400 kilos balanced, seatbelts on, ADRs, nav, barrel rev, QNH 1013. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, and here is the load sheet.
901 uniform Delta 4 QNH 1014 with Mike requesting
So, zero fuel weight 59.2 and CG at 32.4. Okay, so CG 31.1, that is about 0.5 units down trim.
25, turn right heading 040, Catalyst runway 07 right.
Right, 340, right, Lufthansa cargo ship.
Negative, not for you. Speedbird 25, heading 040, cleared RDS runway 07 right.
Okay then, let's go for
turning
our
right, heading
clearance.
040, cleared the approach 07 right, Speedbird 25.
7 Kilo Yankee, identified hello, information Mike, expect runway 07 right, turn left heading 310.
Before start checklist please. Park and brake, set, takeoff speed and thrust, 132, 132, 135, flex 66, windows, closed, beacon on before start checklist.
78 Foxtrot, flight level 40. Yes, I identified you earlier, climb via set to flight level 130. Flight level 130, 78 Foxtrot.
Lufthansa 074, request pushback Alpha 34.
First of Chicago 2535, wind 0837 knots, 07 right, clear to land, long road out approved.
07 right, clear to land, long for Lufthansa cargo 225.
Lufthansa 074, startup and pushback approved, area 4.
Startup and pushback approved, area 4, Lufthansa 074.
Condor 7 Kilo Yankee, descent to flight level 100.
Okay, ground flight.
901 uniform, ready to copy.
Hello, so please yeah, pushback is approved area 4, and what on earth is GSX doing?
Flight planned route, climb via set to altitude 5000 feet.
You can't be serious. You just can't be
Clear
serious.
to the London Heathrow via the Oboka 1 Echo departure, initial climb 5000, Cocking 2021.
Okay, tell you what.
901 uniform.
Park and brake released. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
The 2 Echo Papa started and pushback approved, area 6. The company on Alpha 34 is pushing as well onto area 4. Should be no factor, but stay clear.
Oh, come on, GSX, what are you doing?
Pushback approved, area 6 and Echo Lufthansa Papa.
Hello? Why is it not working? Start pushback. For real? Like, for real?
Lufthansa 8 Alpha Whiskey taxi to gate Bravo 10 via November and November 5.
You can't be serious.
Cargo 2535, taxi via Mike and Mike 8, hold at category 2, holding point runway 07 center.
Mike 8, category 2, Lufthansa Cargo.
So I killed the Cockpit engine.
25, long rollout, Mike 9er approved, wind 0803.
I'm just starting it again in the background.
Clear to land.
Long rollout approved, clear to land,
Oh, hello.
7 kilo Yankee time, left heading 300.
Come on, man. Brake released. Start pushback. Here we go. Just took ages. Okay, so we cleared into area 4. That is a rather long pushback. And the guy on the right there has already gotten pushback clearance as well. This gentleman. So we gotta make sure that we stay clear of him. Okay, so let's give this a try. And starting engines 1 and 2 in that sequence. Engine 1 start.
Cargo 8404, taxi to runway 07 center via November 15 and Lima 20.
Honestly, GSX is such a horribly awful program.
Taxi to runway 07 center over November 15 and Lima 20.
Right now, 118, flight level 360.
Hello, Ryanair 118, squad 1000.
So, area 4 is over here.
Information Mike. Ryanair 118 identified. Hello, information Mike. Expect
Okay, good start on engine 1, starting engine 2.
And squawk 1000.
And here we are, more or less on the area. Stop pushback, disconnect the tug, and set park and brake. So we have the brake set. You're clear to disconnect all the ground equipment and advise when clear, please. In the meantime, engine number 2 is starting up. And we have 2 good engine starts, clear disconnect, show me the sign on the left, please have a wonderful day, bye now.
First, Lufthansa Cargo 2535, cross runway 07 center, taxi left via Lima.
Crossing 07 center and left via Lima, Lufthansa Cargo 25.
Air Transport 106, you're clear to Heathrow, Oboka 1 Echo departure, flight plan route, climb via system.
Okay, clear signal received, after start checklist, anti-ice, off, ecom status, checked, pitch trim, 31% set, rudder trim, neutral, after start checklist complete.
Oboka 1 Echo departure. Feedback is correct, but if possible, make yourself a bit louder. You're pretty quiet. Brake, Condor 7 Kilo Yankee, descent to flight level 70.
70, Condor 7 Kilo.
Lufthansa 074, request taxi, able Lima 14.
Lufthansa 074, Roger, wind space, request taxi via November 7, link 3, November 8 and Lima, hold short of Lima 16.
Lufthansa 074, when clear of traffic in front, taxi November 7, Lima 3, sorry, link 3, November 8, Lima, and hold short Lima 16.
Lufthansa Cargo 8404 via Lima 20, wind 0637 knots, runway 07.
Okay, so what do we have down here?
Frankfurt, hello.
Clearance request rejected, revert to voice. Yeah, we did that a little while ago. Okay, clear on the left side, clear on the right side.
0637 knots, runway 07 center, intersection Lima 20, cleared for takeoff.
So we're still waiting for the gentleman in front of us to request their taxi clearance.
Takeoff on 7 center.
Confirm you are cleared for takeoff.
Sorry, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa Power 8404.
Lufthansa 9 Papa Zulu, reduce speed 220 knots, descend to flight level 80.
220 knots,
So,
down to
brake check.
809 Papa Zulu.
Pressure 0.
Papa, ready for taxi.
Our taxi routing now is via November 7, link 3, November 8, Lima, and then intersection Lima.
Lufthansa 2,
What's that?
2 Echo Papa via
Lima
November 7,
16.
link 3, and Lima hold short of Lima 20, Lufthansa 2 Echo Papa.
After link 3 it's November 8, break. Condor 7 to Yankee, turn right heading 330, descend 4,000 feet.
Okay, well,
1013.
let's start the flight control check.
4,000 feet,
Full up. Full down.
Configure
Neutral.
772, start up and pushback approved.
Full left. Full right. Neutral. And the rudder.
772, start up and pushback approved.
Full left.
Start up approved, let's
Full
pick up
right.
210.
Neutral.
Lufthansa 3 ready for push and turn.
So, it would have been really helpful if he didn't just use that brake after this guy got his taxi instructions wrong. Then he corrected him, but then just
November 8,
gave
Lufthansa Cargo
him, you know, the correct clearance again, but just immediately used the brake, and now he's talking to other aircraft without waiting for readback.
310, you're on the taxi out position, so start up approved.
Yep, and this is exactly the result. The gentleman has no clue where he's going, and he's already going into a wrong direction.
Let's leave at 25, vacating 07 right, holding line 9.
He should have gone straight onto link 3.
Tango 4.
But this one is down to ATC, because they did not actually wait for his clearance, or for his readback.
Mike, Tango.
Alright, I tell you what, I can't be bothered.
Leave at 25.
Condor 7 to Yankee, right 040, Ketala 07 right.
VLS 07 right, Condor 7 K
And confirm right heading
So,
04.
good lookout to the left, that we don't slam our winglet into the company.
9 Papa Zulu, descend 5000, QNH 1013, Ketala Yankee 07 left.
Halt down to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1013.
And I think this is looking quite okay.
07 left, and 9 Papa Zulu.
Let's take it slow.
And
if you see that things get...
taxi now, straight at
Now, what are you doing?
At Hotel Lima.
For real?
Ja, oder so. Lufthansa 074, stay behind the company.
074, do we really have to stay behind him?
Yeah, I mean, if you are able to pass, you can pass.
Yeah, we can pass in front of him, thank you.
Lufthansa Papa, follow the company, he knows where to go. Follow him and
Yeah,
taxi
I
to
think
the
that's
Honeycomb
the
07 center. Just stay
easier
behind
way,
us, please.
that he just follows us.
Lufthansa 2 Echo Papa, ja, sorry, ich habe irgendwie den Link nicht gesehen, wo der Link 3 ist. Follow company aircraft, Lufthansa.
So he just said he did not see where link 3 is located. In that case, of course, you don't start a taxi at all, but simply hold position until you can clarify it with air traffic control.
Cargo 2535, get right to the 2 Lufthansa A320, passing right to, we are joining Lima from the right. Thereafter, taxi via Lima and November 142 Foxtrot 211.
The good thing is, since we're able for the intersection, we can just go
follow Lima
ahead of him anyway.
14, and,
Okay, so the MD-11 is waiting.
216, Lufthansa Cargo 26.
211 is the stand.
211, thank you very much, Foxtrot 211.
Yep, definitely waiting. Alright, so we're on Lima, and we go straight to Lima 16, and that's it.
07 right, clear to land.
Good land 07 right in Mike Taylor approved.
No changes to the briefing.
20
Lufthansa 9 Papa Zulu, Papa 6 approved, wind 06 to 37 knots, runway 07 left, clear to land.
07 left, clear to land, Papa 6 approved, 9 Papa Zulu.
Okay, taxi checklist.
passing follow to
Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, conf 1 plus F, radar predictive wind shear on an auto, engine start selector, norm, ECA memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete.
Über 26 cross Tango 4, taxi to gate Echo 6 via November East and November.
So, Lima 16 should be coming up on the left now.
Could you give me the stand number again, please?
Here it is. Passing November 11 right now, then Lima 16 is next.
Echo 6, speedbird 25. Lufthansa 914, request push and start.
Lufthansa 914, Quebec. Lufthansa 074 via Lima 16, line up runway 07 center.
Via Lima 16, line up 07 center, Lufthansa 074.
Lufthansa 914, start of the pushback approved, area 1.
Cabin crew, prepare for departure.
Lufthansa 12, Papa, Able, Lima 16.
Singapore 26. Sorry, information is November, expect ILS runway 07 right.
Line-up checklist, takeoff runway 07 center via Lima 16.
Lufthansa 310, rated taxi.
So, TCAS, TARA, Prex 1 and 2, off, line-up checklist complete, runway clear on the approach, clear on the left side. There's one approaching guy, but he's coming for 07 right, I suppose.
Behind the company, A320, line up runway 07 center, behind.
Line up, Lufthansa 2, Papa, behind company traffic, line up runway 07 center, behind.
So we're
074 with 06 or 37 up, runway 07 center, cleared for takeoff.
Lufthansa 074, runway 07 center, cleared for takeoff. Ready? Takeoff.
Standard runner, good day, Lufthansa 402, requesting clearance to Newark, stand Alpha 6.
Copy back, German Air Transport 106, start and pushback approved, area 6.
Interesting, it's not giving me any flags. In that case, Mantoga, SRS runway, auto thrust blue.
Number 02, you're clear to Newark via Oboka to
Thrust
Delta
set.
departure. Flight planned route.
100 knots.
Sits to altitude 5,000 feet, squawk 2146.
V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav, checked.
First step, all passing 402.
So, 4,000 feet a minute. That's what I like.
Delta departure. Flight planned route. Climb via at 5,000 feet. Squawk 2146.
Roger, sorry. Ready to walk. Over to the top of departure.
First time climb auto thrust.
Correct. With Naturika Papa with 06 37 knots. Runway 07 center. You're cleared for takeoff.
Lufthansa 12, Papa, 07 center, cleared for takeoff.
074 identified, report level passing, climb via SIPS to flight level 130.
Lufthansa 074, passing level 025 and climb by SIT level 130. So, flap 0. Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Hello, Lufthansa 630, you're clear to Dubai via City 7 Sierra departure, flight planned route, climb via SIT to altitude 4,000 feet, squawk 2161.
Thank you very much. We are to destination Dubai via
So, going straight over the city.
Squawk 2161.
That's Frankfurt main station down there, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, that's it.
Taxi via Mike Tango, hold short of Tango 4.
Mike Tango, out of Tango 4. Car 70.
On your radar, schönen guten Tag, Lufthansa 8 November Echo at Victor 96 with a CRJ 900.
So, temperature 16, we can go through those clouds without any problems.
November Echo, you're cleared to your
standard?
destination. Gdansk via Tobak 1 Delta
Standard
departure.
cross check, passing flight level 53.
5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Now, checked.
Lufthansa 8 November Echo is clear to Gdansk via the Tobak 1 Delta departure.
All right.
Climb by SID 5,000, squawk 1,000.
Correct.
So, with that, we're up and on the way. Now,
Hiya Papa November 11, hold short, November 9.
Düsseldorf is using runway 05 today, so chances are we're probably going to get a shortcut somewhere over here in a few moments.
Lufthansa 2, Echo Papa, passing 2000.
That's certainly what the real flight got today, so they just received a shortcut direct to somewhere on the base. And I'm fairly sure that once we're out of the controlled airspace over here,
Confirm level is 120.
we are probably going to get the same.
120 Lufthansa 2, Echo Papa.
Leipzig 772 reverse taxi.
Tiger 772, taxi holding point runway 18 via November.
Runway 18 via November, Leipzig 772.
310, wind 06 to 67 knots, runway 18.
So, I do have to say, the sim is just looking amazing. Really, really amazing.
074, contact 123-280,
Lufthansa 074 12328, tschüss.
welchen calling for clearance to München, say again call sign.
Ja, Langrada, Lufthansa 2, Alpha Mike, Information November nach München, bitte.
So, 12328. Langrada, hallo, Lufthansa 074, passing level 106, climbing 130. Langrada, hallo, Lufthansa 074, passing level 111, climbing 130. Full vertical speed 1000. Langrada, Lufthansa 074, do you read? One, 2, 3, 2, 8. No, he does not read.
On to the orange line, speed with 931.
Contact 7 Kilo Yankee, cross Tango 4, taxi to St. Victor 113 via November East Blue Line, November Blue Line.
Cross Tango 4, to St. Victor 113.
Langen, Lufthansa 074, please confirm the frequency again.
Frequency is 123-280.
We tried that button, no reply on there.
Okay, stand shortly. Climb flight level, what's the requested climb level 220 for now?
Lufthansa 074, climb level 220. First time climb out flight level 220 blue.
Back shortly.
Okay, so we're through 100. Lights off.
310 identified.
Pitch is looking good, so signs off.
110, report level passing.
Climb, yeah, that's it, flight level 110.
Yeah, we should probably take the autopilot on here, so AP1.
So 9 Papa Zulu, taxi November, hold shot November 8.
Okay, so clear and
November,
copy.
hold short, November 8, 9 Papa Zulu.
German Air Transport 106, taxi via November 7 and Lima, hold shot of Lima 20. 074, contact now 123-280.
Lufthansa 074, 123-280 again. Tschüss, danke.
Singapore 2.
Langrada, hallo, Lufthansa 074, passing level 149, climbing 220.
074, guten Morgen, identified, climb for level 220.
Climb level 220, Lufthansa 074. Any left turns available?
Call you shortly.
Okay. So then, let's go ahead and have a look into our arrival into Düsseldorf already. It's a pretty short flight after all. So, Düsseldorf, arrival, sent.
Lange departure today, Lufthansa 310, climbing to 5000.
So 310, how do you identify? Climb for level 310.
Atus, no Atus available.
Climb flight level
Okay.
310, Lufthansa 310.
In that case, we'll just
For
do...
074, Düsseldorf is currently not covered. You can proceed direct Domux. If you have another direct you want to fly, just call me.
Lufthansa 074, direct Domux, danke. So, Domux, with the beam points. Here we go. That's a good shortcut for the beginning. And he told us just to call him if we are looking for another direct, so let's just have a quick look into the Düsseldorf charts and see if there is something better he can get us.
Inbound, bad name.
So 5736 identified, guten Tag.
So, Domux 05. Let's see. This would be the transition, so let's ask him if he can go direct Delta Lima 504.
6 Hotel Foxtrot, guten Tag, identified.
Lufthansa 074, any chance to proceed direct Delta Lima 504?
So 074, das passt, direkt Delta Lima 504.
Vielen Dank, direct Delta Lima 504, Lufthansa 074.
Turkish 160 Sierra, good evening with you, heading to 320.
So, Delta Lima 504 direct, that saves us quite a bit of distance here. And speed, vertical speed, and 1000 to go.
Climbing level 230 inbound to back.
And then let's just fix up our flight plan. So after 504 we can take 510.
900 direct tarmac.
Lufthansa Papa direct tarmac.
Like this,
and
perfect.
climb level 290.
So we're looking at an incredible 30 miles in cruise.
The top of descent, so can we maintain a 230 on descent on the descent path?
Turkish 2, 1 Sierra, descent now flight level 130, expect a shortcut.
So let's see if we have received the weather by now. Yes, 15087, slightly variable, tarmac 21 degrees, 1012.
Minus 70 identified, direct up.
Flying radar, Seabird 61 with you, flight level 330.
Seabird 61, hello, listen to frequency before you call in, you identified.
Radar low, Ryan.
I'll start. Oh, that was a pretty quick, don't interrupt other people. A pretty quick don't interrupt other people. But totally understandable.
Radar, hello, Alpha 9
With 2 stations, I got Alpaca 96 Alpha, you identified, climb flight level 370.
Yeah, climbing 370, Alpaca 96 Alpha.
Transavia 5201, you
So
identified.
let's have a look at the arrival chart down here. The ILS starts at Natos 3000, 3 degree glide slope, and we have all of that. And then we must approach straight ahead to 16 meters Düsseldorf, left turn 320 until radial 012, and left turn back to the station climbing of 4000. And that's pretty much exactly what we have done here.
Transavia 5201, this is Langenradar on guard, contact Langenradar on frequency 123.280.
Man, that's very accurate phraseology there. And he's using guard frequency. If someone's not responding on the actual frequency, he's using 1 to 1.5. And that phraseology was exactly how they would do it in the real world. Very well done. So, Düsseldorf 05 right.
Contact München
Then for the descent, 280 knots is okay.
133565,
1012. 150 at 7.
Not following your
and the temperature 21. Okay, minimum cut Charlie 328. And we can do Conf 3 landing here and the MSA in case of go around in that sector 2800.
UPS 868 to avoid direct
Very good.
relux.
So, 28 minutes of extra.
Direct
and copy the active into the secondary. Auto brakes low and landing flaps.
Langen Center, this is Air Canada 107.
Perfect.
I'm in Frankfurt and request IFR clearance to Toronto.
So Düsseldorf 5 right, dry, refresh, apply, and
Roger,
then the gross weight is
107.
62.5. Well, let's just take that for the calculation. So 62.5. Auto brakes low, Conf 3, manual thrust.
Düsseldorf 074, descend on Honeycomb, good
Looking
luck.
good.
Bye bye.
Lufthansa 074, Honeycomb, tschüssi. So, over to Honeycomb, and, well, we're almost at the top of descent here, so let's go ahead and start our descent right now. Down to 10,000. Descent alt Throttle 110 blue. Speed. Okay, cool. So, our setup is pretty much completed. Then let's go ahead and start our approach briefing, please. So we're flying into Düsseldorf, ILS 05 right, radar vectors, and we have, let's see, probably a little bit high. Oh, there, let's make it 5,000 at 504. That's better. So let's see, 2,500 high on profile. That's fine. Okay, cool. So, ILS approach 05 right, radar vector, minimums 328, MSA 2800, and we have no specials. Let's just accelerate a bit here. You can give me 320 knots. Actually, we're all the way up to 330, and then seatbelts on. Okay, cool. So, your part of the briefing, please. Thank you. So, as you already said, ILS approach, we will do that thing flight director guided for runway 05 right, and we have a stop margin of, what's that, around 270 meters. Now, vacate the runway off to the right, and I see no threats for our taxi in, no hotspots either. Nothing special, nothing non-standard. Any questions? No? Wonderful. So that's our briefing complete then. Alrighty, so 500 above the profile, that's going pretty well. And we can just change the managed speed here to 330. That should give us a little bit more accurate predictions. 1,700 above the profile now. Let's go ahead and use some half speed brake here. Like this. TCAS into below so that we can see other aircraft, and man, this looks interesting. Why is our speed target going up though? Oh, because it changed to constant Mach. No, why? But typical Airbus logic, if it's doing something that you don't want it to do, take over. That's the first thing any Airbus instructor is going to tell you, so that's what we've just done here. So we'll take it down to level 100, and once we are level over there, we can bleed off the speed back to 250, and then continue the descent. Speed alt star. Managed speed. And here we go, approaching the cleared level. And I just received a very nice private message here. Just gotta reply to that real quick. Okay, cool. So, everything's looking pretty good. We have alt leveling off in 100, right overhead Cologne. Down there is the airport. And then just bleeding off the speed, and once we are down at 250, we'll initiate the further descent. That's about as easy as it gets. So, lights on, signs on, constraints and landing system selected. Then we have GPS primary within high accuracy, and the mode selector is in norm. First I load and descent out flight level 70 blue. So far so good. I like it. I will just keep the aircraft in an idle descent right now. I don't bother with those 5,000 feet too much because, well, we just entered those manually. So if our energy permits, I'll just go straight onto the final over here. That's how the real flight did it as well. So, heading, and then extend the center line, please. Full heading. Heading. Very cool. So, down to 5,000, set QNH. QNH 1012, cross-check, passing 8,800. Now. Alright, let's help it to get down. So we have 18 miles towards Natos. We got to cover basically 5,000 feet, that's 15 miles, and then lose some airspeed. So I think we're looking pretty good. Hello, Emmanuel in the machine room.
The cabin is now secure for landing.
Thanks. So let's keep the TCAS on a larger scale here in order to see any other traffic. With the recent release of Düsseldorf, I wouldn't be surprised if we find some other people over here as well. And then down to 3,000. And that's 3,000 blue. Okay, approach checklist please. Baro reference, QNH 1012, seatbelts on, minimum Baro 328. Auto brake, low, engine start selector, norm, approach checklist complete. It actually doesn't look like there's anyone over here right now. So then, let's still those speed brakes again. We are low enough now. And then let's have a little bit of fun. So, automatics off. So, 15 degrees, we don't need anti-ice for those clouds. That's the way I like it. That's exactly the way I like it. Alright then, reducing speed to 20. Activate approach phase. So the field should be just over there. Our present heading is a pretty good one, that'll turn us nicely onto the final approach point.
Traffic, hier oben speed schon mal climbing up and signal off of commercial passage.
Vertical speed. And 1,000 to go. Manage speed. So, another look at our TCAS, nobody on here, all star. Looks like there's a light tailwind on our approach, that's gonna be fine. Flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. So we'll keep the heading until we're 2.5 miles from the center line, then we'll turn right onto our final heading to intercept the ILS. Looks like we do need a little bit of thrust here. Alright, then turn right, heading 020, cleared ILS 05 right. Block start. Localizer alive. Düsseldorf traffic, Lufthansa 074, established 10 miles final, 05 right. Glide slope star. Localizer. So set go around altitude 4000. And that's set. Glide slope. Perfect intercept. I gotta say that heading was good.
2,500.
Checked. So the speed is a little high. Let's use some speed brake to reduce that. Alright, flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. Gear down. And the speed brake is going back in. Flaps 3. Speed checked. Flap 3. Landing checklist, ECA memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Düsseldorf, Lufthansa 074, 4 miles final, 05 right. We're in VMC, so we can use the 500 foot gauge.
1,000.
Checked. Not sure if we did the landing checklist yet. ECA memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Now we did it. Okay, so we are nicely established. No traffic to be seen anywhere. Land, checked.
300.
Just look at the textures of the lawn over here. Just looks so good compared to the previous versions.
200.
Continue. So let's put it right on the spot.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Nah, overflared slightly. Okay, spoilers, reverse green, decel. We're not gonna catch that exit over here, I'm not too worried. $70 knots, manual brakes. And here we go. Welcome to Düsseldorf. Should probably slow it down a little bit more. 20 knots is rather fast for this turn. Düsseldorf, Lufthansa 074, runway vacated. Okay, I like it. Then let's turn on to Mike and all the way to our parking stand. That's 28 minutes in the air. That's pretty good for a flight like this. Must have been those excellent shortcuts from air traffic control.
862 uniform, speedbird 862 uniform. This is Langenradar on guard. If you read, contact Langenradar on frequency.
Thank you. After landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. So our gate will be Alpha 2. Let's see if GSX is of any use today. No, it's not. Oh yeah, that was important. That was very important. Alright, down to 10 knots. So, APU avail. Electric hydraulic pump on, shutdown 2. So a little bit of traffic here. And it looks like they don't really care about aircraft, so we better be careful. Lights off, the radar is off already. Then here we go, Alpha 2 will be ours. Would be nice to have a marshaller now, or at least a working guidance system. It looks like neither is the case, but so be it.
Ground traffic, Turkish 1XSR turning left 134 for the base side runway.
I think if we stop over here, that's gonna be fine. APU bleed on, park and brake on, and shut down. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Okay, engines are turning down. Again, in my opinion, N1 takes a little bit too long to run down here in relation to N2. But so be it. So the doors are disarmed, seatbelts off. External power on, and we can shut down the APU. Flight at ground, hello. Hi, so the trucks are in position, power is on, and you can release the brakes. Thank you, brakes released. The plane is holding, perfect. So the aircraft is in a good condition. See you up here in a moment. Okay, parking checklist. Park and brake our trucks. Brake set. Engines off, wing light off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. Well, my friends, and that's it. Welcome to Düsseldorf. I hope you enjoyed the flight as much as I did. I surely had a blast, and I'm really enjoying the new Düsseldorf scenery. Thank you very much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.